Hey, welcome to the TCX Podcast. You're listening to Matt in Edmonton, Alberta.
And Elliot from Calgary.
Brian from Regina, Saskatchewan.
And my name is Cazteck, and I am from Ottawa, Ontario.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. So, I guess the biggest news that we need to talk about, this is our first inaugural episode, so I'd like to thank everyone for being here. You know, you guys on the panel, and of course all our listeners. Thank you very much for taking the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. But obviously, you know, right now it's probably one of the biggest times in gaming next to E3. I'm talking about Gamescom, the 14 or the 10-day event going on over in Germany. Lucky bastards. Having probably one of the biggest exclusive battles ever. You know what? Let's talk about some of the stuff. Matt, what's blown you away from Gamescom so far?
Gamescom? I don't know. I would say probably the biggest thing talked about right now is what's happening between the Rise of the Tomb Raider game. Have you guys been hearing about this little conflict that's happening? Microsoft saying, hey, it's an exclusive just for us, holiday 2015. Square Enix took such a deep hit from this. Everybody's feeling betrayed because they were exclusive to PlayStation, right?
Well, yeah.
So now what's happening?
It was Tomb Raider first started with the PlayStation, like PlayStation, the original. You had your Tomb Raider, and that was never going to be on Xbox or anything like that. And then, of course, they came out with, you know, the shittier Tomb Raiders, and hell, Xbox can have them.
Well, yeah, you could say that. It was developed on other platforms, though. Like, I played it on my Dreamcast and stuff. What I'm saying is, like, Square Enix has always been loyal to PlayStation. Like, they did have titles back in, like, the 90s. There was a Switch. They went to the PlayStation because there was more powerful in comparison with the other consoles in the market at the time. So, I mean, Square Enix has basically been there from the birth of the PlayStation, and now it just seems like they're abandoning the fourth generation of this console. And the fans are feeling betrayed by this.
But is it really though? Like, should they feel betrayed? That's my question. Because, you know, if you look at it from my perspective, I'm thinking, you know, Square Enix, they want to be able to get out of just not only the Sony market, but kind of allow themselves to get into every console market and be like a big, you know, player in all of them. So that's what I think. I think that's what they're trying to do. It's not like so much as betraying the Sony fans. They're just trying to get their name out more. They're trying to release more games for other consoles. And, you know, I think they'll be able to do it, and I think they'll be able to do fine. But some people need to get, you know, a little less butthurt over the whole situation, in my opinion.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. But I mean, you know, let's rewind this a little. Let's rewind this a little ways back. You know, for me, I'm a 30-year-old gamer. You know, you want to talk about, you know, Square Enix or Square being loyal. What about when they were loyal to the Nintendo, right? Yeah. And then jumping ship to the PlayStation. You know, with Final Fantasy VII. And then, you know, now they've been with PlayStation. So, you know, I was the Nintendo guy. So, yeah, you know, when that jump happened, but then I bought a PlayStation. So,
you got to think of, you know, as in my opinion, a moving. It's like the consoles, you know, they keep getting better and better. They keep releasing and releasing. You know, you went from originally having like Atari and Nintendo back in the 90s as kind of the big players, right? And then the Sony came out, and then the Xbox, and as you know, as things progress in the gaming industry, I also think you know, game developers themselves need to do the same thing. So,
yeah, no, I totally hear you. Now, here's the thing, though. I had the thought, and then I completely forgot about it. I was stuck on it, waiting for you guys. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. So this is we're in a world now where everything's basically multi-platform. The Tomb Raider game that they put out in 2011, the reimagining of it was put on multiple platforms, and this coming out as an exclusive for Xbox just feels like, you know, they're completely forgetting the bigger half of the market. And I shouldn't even say half, because Sony's destroying Microsoft right now.
Yeah, well, the original Tomb Raider sold 7 million copies. How many of those were PlayStation 3 and now PlayStation 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
and they have that
like multi-platform, right? Like we're talking about like the mod of DayZ on Arma 2, right? that is now being ported to PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But,
and
you know,
that's huge. That is huge because, you know, DayZ is definitely one of the, if not the best MMO zombie game out there at this point, and it all started from just a simple mod, right? And they've now been able to release their own game, and now they're going to be able to put it onto the Sony PlayStation 4, which is allowing them as a developer to not only be like, hey, look, we're serious, but also for them to be like, hey, our game is the shit, right? And we can now do this. We can put it on the Sony PlayStation 4. And I honestly think DayZ will be a better game on a Sony PlayStation than it would be on the computer.
Yeah, well, right now I can't really see it because on the mod, they still have issues and they're trying to make the standalone version, but that has more issues than the mod, so I would want to see a solid rock version of the standalone before I want to see it on the PlayStation 4.
Well, I don't know when it's going to come out. I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. It was just announced.
Like, the standalone was supposed to be coming out, like, 2 Christmases ago.
Well, no, the standalone game's already out. One of our fellow Console Explosion members, he actually has both versions, and he was saying he likes the standalone version a little bit more. But yeah, there is a lot of its problems. But the question is DayZ for the PlayStation 4, is that an exclusive?
Because there's no announcement, right?
Yeah, I guess that is a question.
Because now we're talking about the Tomb Raider and how Tomb Raider is now exclusive with this, as well as DayZ an exclusive, or are they going to jump on the fact of, again, multi-platforming? Yes, when you're multi-platform, you're going to make more money, you're going to please more people, you're going to get more fans. I mean, we can talk about the Expendables 3 going from a rated R to a PG-13, right? Trying to get more people to see their movie. Is that really what multi-platforming is? Well,
it's so the developer can hit a bigger market. Obviously,
yeah.
They need to build it on multiple platforms because not everybody's got an Xbox One or PlayStation 4 or whatever. Really, you're saying, Brian?
Now, as DayZ, I can't see Bohemia doing it as a just straight up exclusive to the PS4, though. That's the thing. I can't see them doing that.
I'm sure it'll come to Xbox in time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure PlayStation will be the first to have it, but I eventually think they're going to do the same thing, and they're going to hop over to the Xbox market. And if it's powerful if it's powerful enough to run it, why not? Is my question. Why wouldn't they? The more money for them, and as these guys started out very, very, they didn't have a lot of money. It was just kind of like a mod, like I said, and this game's blown up, right? So I definitely expect them, and they should put it on the Xbox. PlayStation can have it, but I also think they should definitely go to the Xbox as well because it can make some good money.
True. One thing about DayZ that I always enjoyed is the fact that it was a free mod. Right, and that's how it started. And the free mods back in my PC days was like Counter-Strike and the add-ons to that, or the add-ons to Half-Life, right?
Now, one thing I've noticed when I was looking into this Tomb Raider story, because I had to read up on updates. There was updates today that were posted, and it turns out that it's not as exclusive to Microsoft as it may have seemed. It's just nice wording, the way everybody's talking. It's like, we make a deal and we'll have this timed exclusive where it's for our console and only our console. And Microsoft cashed in big to get this game to come out exclusively for their console on holiday season. That's like a big fucking deal. They know it's going to be huge and they're taking it. But like is it Crystal Dynamics? I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
The developers did speak out and say it will eventually move over to PC. And I'm sure the PS4 will follow. I mean, it would be ignorant of them to just ignore the rest of the platforms out there because that's just not practical in this market. You have to open to everybody or you're not going to make a big enough mark to, say, create a sequel or anything like that. Like, that's just how the business is run now. So now what console developers are doing are creating these timed exclusives, either getting, a big payout or some special hookup, either it be exclusive content, because Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is getting that for the Xbox One.
Well, all
but
of
Destiny's
the Call of
got
Duties have always had timed exclusives, haven't they?
For Xbox,
I guess essentially started the trend, yeah. But Destiny's also doing it for PlayStation 4. They're going to have the content first come onto that console. So that's kind of what they're doing now to try and bring people to them, Come to us, we'll have the best stuff. Nintendo's kind of just like dipping in. Did you guys see the video where it's like time is now to buy a console?
No.
They had a big showcase, like a 9-minute video of all their games, and damn, they got some good games coming, but it took them a while to build up to that. And now they're just like, hey, we have the exclusives, come to us. And this has been their motive the entire time. People go, why don't they develop on other platforms? For some reason, Nintendo has this special place in our heart.
And
we all just keep going to them. And they always will have that. And that's why they can get away with that shit. But back on the note, Tomb Raider's going to eventually move to other platforms. And I'm sure DayZ will follow on other platforms. I mean, that just naturally would make sense. The developer wants to get out there and get a market share, at least.
But hang on. When you talk about, they'll go. Okay, well, what about Halo? What about Resistance, Killzone? They never.
I haven't seen.
They never left. Game. They never jumped.
No, but I haven't seen an indie game stay on one console. I've always seen them move to multiple platforms. We're even getting Goat Simulator on our cell phones.
Goat Simulator.
And that's still coming to Xbox One. Like, it's getting out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see it happening anytime soon for indie games, but I mean, Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
Journey.
Is Journey considered an indie title?
That's how it started, wasn't it?
The
now they're getting a PlayStation 4.
What was that Flower game? It was that developer, and then
Journey, and
they kind of just grew into this. Whatever. Okay,
they're a powerhouse, but there's an exclusive right there, right?
Yeah, I mean, exclusives are still there. Microsoft still has Gears of War and stuff, and Halo. I mean, we got to have them.
Indie developers, and that's probably about as indies you're going to get with those guys.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't think you'll ever see Killzone and Halo and all those games ever go to another console. I mean, the reason being is because Halo and Gears of War, they make so much money for the Xbox, and Killzone and what else would be exclusive on PS4. So
Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet, yes.
That's a big.
They're never going to go. They're never going to switch over. The reason being is because they have such a massive fan base already for this one console, and they make so much money. It would make no sense to switch over to another console where they potentially could lose money, right? Because they're thinking about business, right? You got to think of business-wise for these games as well. So that's just my opinion, though. I don't think Killzone will ever be on the Xbox. The only reason being is because Killzone is kind of like the PlayStation's Gears of War, in my opinion. It's like and Halo's kind of exclusive. It's the only thing PlayStation really has that stands up to Halo and Gears of War. Like, it really, if you think about it, that's the only exclusive they really have that stands up to that, right? Now, if you look at PlayStation, they have Uncharted and all those games like that, Infamous, right? Yeah. And if you look at Infamous and Uncharted, what does Xbox have that's a contender for those two? Nothing, right? You gotta. It's going to be hard for them to ever switch over to another console. And, I think just when it comes to it, I think the whole reason Tomb Raider's going over there and switching over and getting everything done is because I think they were losing money. I think they weren't making as much money as it costs to make the game.
Well, the predecessor didn't make as much as they were expecting, I think it was, or something like that. Yeah. Or maybe it was the next-gen remake that they did. Like the facelift that they gave it to put it on the next generation, PS4, Xbox One.
Well, that's the problem, is why would you facelift a game that just came out a month ago? But then again,
they did it for The Last of Us.
Well, exactly.
And how did
The Last
that go?
of Us is like the #1 seller right now. And that's great. I bought both versions. I love that game to death.
I still need to play that game. That's on my bucket list.
Speaking of, Tomb Raider, yeah, you're right. They have talked about the fact that it's coming out for the Christmas season, and perhaps it's a time exclusive. But I mean, you're saying they want to capitalize on the sales. But the new Uncharted game has been announced to be released 2 weeks before Tomb Raider. So is that going to hurt the new Tomb Raider and Xbox?
It almost might. I mean, with the way people are feeling right now, how Square Enix is, as they're putting it, treating them. Like, frankly, I think it's it's business. This is how it goes. And eventually they'll bring it out to us in other ways. But people are just too fucking impatient. But, okay, now I lost the continuity to what I was saying. I'm sorry, guys. Come back to me.
So
anyone else?
Yeah, no, hang on. So the question is with these timed exclusives and everything, Microsoft has been known to throw that money out to get these. Is this because again, PlayStation has been outselling them almost 2-1, if not more. Do you think this is a sign of the power slipping from Microsoft?
Possibly.
I mean, they need something to anchor themselves for next year because they have nothing. They're going to give us everything this holiday season, and we have nothing to look forward to in 2015.
Yeah.
So I think
it's almost
they're pretty desperate.
I think it's a desperate move from Microsoft to do these kind of things. And, I think now that we're getting into bigger and better consoles, more and more come out, games are going to need the better and, the bigger and better. And, if Microsoft can afford to do it, they're going to do it because they know, hey, we got the money. We can do this. I mean, Sony has the money too, right? But if Xbox and Microsoft are going to be like, yo, we want one of their games. We're going to get it. We're going to pay lots and lots of money for it. Then they're going to do it. But I think Tomb Raider is kind of... I don't think it will be as big as much as a benefit as Xbox and Microsoft expect it to be to the whole console, the war between PlayStation and Xbox. I don't think it will make them a lot of money. Honestly, I think they will make money, but I don't think they will make as much as they expect. I don't think they're going to realize, we paid out the ass to get this onto our system, but what do we really have to show for it?
Yeah, and I mean, if you got to go up against with titles like Uncharted, which is coming out, like you said, 2 weeks before this game, I mean, you're going to have a standoff there. People... I don't know. I think they're more appealed to Uncharted. That seems to have a bigger fan base.
Yeah.
Like Tomb Raider just seems to linger on and still exist. But I hear that this remake was pretty good. And the new one, that's The Rise, it made a lot of waves online. People were buzzing about it. So there's some anticipation for the title.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Would you guys rather play Uncharted or Tomb Raider?
I'll be honest with you. I've never played Uncharted. So...
Me, myself, I would rather choose Uncharted than Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I would choose
Uncharted. I honestly would. Uncharted, I don't know if it's like you said, because Tomb Raider's kind of just lingering. It just kind of keeps surviving. It's like that old grandma that nobody, yeah, she's still alive kind of thing. but I honestly feel like Tomb Raider versus Uncharted. Uncharted is going to win the sales when it comes out on the same week when they come out. Uncharted is going to dominate that market for that week. And the reason being is because Uncharted is such a good game. It is such a put-together game. It's well put together. It is one of the... Honestly, it's not... I think it's the best PlayStation exclusive I've ever played. And I honestly think it's just going to dominate that, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is going to release and it's going to sell. But like I said, Uncharted is just such a good game that it's, their fan base is massive.
Yeah.
And it's just going to make them way more money. It's just going to be the big dog on the block that week.
Well, I mean, even if you just break down the numbers, like the 10 million PlayStation 4 consoles sold in comparison to maybe 3 million consoles, there's no comparison. If you just weigh out the differences, the PS4 is going to dominate at this point. But I mean, that's still something we got to project for in a year, right?
Yeah, and I think the problem was that I think Xbox, the whole reason why it's 10 million to 3 is because Xbox, they didn't have such a good when they pre-release, when they were talking about it and everything at E3 and such, they didn't really give what they wanted to the fans compared to Sony did, right? But me myself, I sold my PlayStation 4. I got rid of it. And the reason I got rid of it was because I wasn't really interested in it. You know, I got it, I had it for maybe 5 months, I got rid of it, played some games, Watch Dogs, UFC, all those games. And, you know, I want to try the Xbox. I want to give it the chance because, you know, even though it's not as much hyped and it doesn't have as much sales, I feel like it would be a good system and it's well put together. Like, it's pretty. It's a pretty system, right? And I was very biased before getting it. I was like, oh no, Xbox, it looks like a giant microwave. We don't need microwaves on our stands. We should just get a PlayStation. It looks sleek, it looks nice. And I got the PlayStation, and honestly, I was kind of like, it's all right. You know, like, that's exactly what I said. So I'm going to give the Xbox a try, and I'm going to, you know, even, you know, if they're going to take some exclusives away from Sony, I'm going to still try the games and everything like that. But at this point, I just want to see this war, man. I just want to see them go back and forth because we've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for it for a long time to see something go down between Xbox and Sony, you know? And I think it's going to happen. Go ahead.
Sorry, I think the you know, the lines were drawn because you talked about E3 and you talked about how the, you know, Microsoft came out, they announced the Xbox One, and they announced everything they wanted to do with it because they expected PlayStation to do the same thing. Then Sony came out and not only said, no, we're not DRMing our games, you know, you don't have to be connected to the internet the whole time, and we're going to be $100 cheaper. You know, I think they really, you know, blew the competition out of the water when it came to E3, and I think that's what really threw them ahead. You know, I like the Xbox, I like the PlayStation. You know, I'm more heavy towards a PlayStation, but, you know, there are some, you know, I bought an Xbox for the exclusive for the Xbox 360 at the time, Left 4 Dead.
Oh, yeah?
That's the only reason I bought, and then Fable. So, you know, there's a new Fable game coming out, and, you know, it looks like League of Legends. Not too interested in that, but nonetheless, you know.
Well, it's actually not structured like a MOBA. It's one player plays the villain, which sends out the enemies, and then you have 4 other players that go against them. I think it's very much sort of played in a, maybe not a similar scenario as Evolve, because there's a monster, but this is like you're spawning troops to stop them from getting to somewhere. Like, that seems to be the hook in this one.
As we're talking about exclusives, I just wanted you guys' opinion on Wild, the PlayStation 4 exclusive. If you guys haven't seen the trailer for it or heard about it, but basically, it's an open world game, and you get to play as an animal, yo. You get to be like a saber-toothed tiger and stuff. No, I'm just kidding about the saber-tooth, but you get to be like a wild boar and stuff, and it, you know, it looks really, really good. You know, the more, you know, more and more open world games are coming out. Like, example, what is that one that was announced at E3? It was No Man's Sky or something like that.
Oh my god!
Stuff like, you know, another open world game, another PlayStation 4 exclusive right there. You know what I'm saying? So those games, the more and more that they come out with these games, I think it's a big risk, but if it does successful, it's going to be awesome. It is going to be such a good game. And you know, I was watching at Gamescom, I seen this trailer. I was watching earlier today, and I was like, wow, this game looks awesome. It looks fun. It looks really good. And I don't know what it is, but everyone wishes they could play as an animal, you know? Like, me, myself, if I could play as a shark, yo, I'd be playing, I'd be going and I'd be eating all kinds of trouts, you know? So, like...
But they have that game. It's called Jaws Unleashed for the Xbox and PlayStation 2.
And I did play a game like that on my cell phone, where it makes the fish get bigger, eventually into sharks.
Is it like Spore?
No, not like that, but similar idea.
Feeding
for the
not
Xbox.
Only that, but Feeding Frenzy is good game. Did you guys see the Hellblade trailer?
No, can't.
You guys see that
no,
one?
Not the Hellblade. No.
Maybe I'll link it here and we'll watch it together. Here, I'll show you guys what it is because it looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, and for everyone watching, I mean, again, if you haven't seen these trailers for Wild, we're gonna play it right here. And if you haven't seen the trailer for what is this one? What are we looking at? Hellblade. We're gonna show it right here as well.
Oh, have you seen that Bloodborne? That looks pretty killer.
That game.
No, I haven't seen it.
Is it Bloodborne or is it Hellblade? Yeah, I'm saying it right. It's from Software.
Yes.
The guys who did Dark Souls and stuff. I'm not a fan of those games. They actually piss me off majorly.
Oh, I love the
We
Dark
tried playing it on the co-op couch, and it just sucked majorly. It was nothing but Garrett just tormenting us. Anyways, this actually looks fun. I don't know what it is about it. I want to play it, and I just know it's going to play and handle just like Dark Souls, but it just looks beautiful. So much blood everywhere, and it seems to have more of an intricate combat system than Dark Souls has, which is already quite versatile in its own.
But speaking of games where you can play as animals, Tokyo Jungle. Anybody play that?
No.
Japan studio where you could play as a chihuahua or a lion, and it's there's no humans left. It's and you're
yes,
a group of animals,
I did play that game.
What console
on
is
PlayStation
this?
3, right?
Yep.
Oh.
Yes, I did play that because I was playing as a wild boar. I remember this. And this was the first. I've never even heard of a game this is my very first experience playing this game. I was at my buddy's house and they were playing, all these weird games. I was like, man, let's just play some Call of Duty. Let's just play some Injustice. Let's have some fun. They're like, no. You know what's fun? Tokyo Jungle. They showed me this game, and at first I was like, this is kind of stupid. You just kind of just play as an animal. You eat. It's kind of dumb. But I played it, and I'll tell you what, I was willing to go out and buy it, and people would have never seen me for days. I would have been inside playing this game, and I would have been doing what I do best as a wild boar. But that game was great, and I really can't wait, like I said, until this new one comes out, Wild, because it's going to be the same thing. I might eventually, I'll be a couch potato playing this game, honestly. No one will see me. I'll be turning in, I'll be a monkey. If you can be a silverback gorilla, that's even better. That's the greatest time, And
what if they could implement Morpheus with it? Just immerse yourself into the experience and be the animal.
There you go. First person view as a gorilla. Fling your own poo.
Yo,
tiger.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
If that Morpheus, if you have Morpheus on and then you're playing as a gorilla, I would be afraid for anyone that's around me because I'd get so intense. I'd be mid eat. I'd be banging my chest and I'd be going after people. So I don't know about Morpheus.
Machine goes on the fritz, and then it's Animorphs all over again.
Oh god.
What up?
Speaking of Hellblade, Hellblade is actually the sequel to Heavenly Sword. So,
really?
And that was a PlayStation 3 exclusive.
Yeah.
So this is the sequel to it for the PlayStation 4. So it's great to see that that the PlayStation is jumping back to that that game, because I know it got lost with God of War. Everyone's like, oh, that game's same as God of War, everything is the same as God of War, and blah 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 blah. But it was an okay game. But now for the sequel, Hellblade, it does look good. So
yeah.
Oh, I have seen this
when
trailer,
Heavenly Sword Heavenly Sword came out, it was definitely because it was the same. It came out the same time God of War. Was it 3? I think it was 3. I don't know if it's 3 or 2, but it came out around the same time, and God of War had such a huge fan base that this game kind of got lost in the water. It kind of everyone kind of just played it off, forgot about it, and that was that. So I'm glad that they're bringing this back, and I'm glad that they're going to give it another shot. And apparently Heavenly Sword did pretty well if they're going to make another kind of like a sequel, and so. I'm excited for this game. It looks really good. Like I said, I'm excited to play it. Badass chick, I must say.
Yeah.
And kind of a little bit scary. I'll be, I'll make sure that I have a nightlight if I'm playing in the dark. So.
Well, I mean, the character for Heavenly Sword got a lot of fanfare when she showed up in the PlayStation's Battle Royale. So,
was she in that game?
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
the Battle
I don't
Royale.
have a PlayStation. I don't play that game.
The All-Stars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was All-Stars.
Yeah.
It was kind of like. It was kind of like, what is it, Mortal Kombat, but all the PlayStation exclusive characters, kind of like Super Smash Brothers, I believe.
Like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. No, I got that. And the way to separate it is they had to give the characters health bars instead of percentage. So
no, it was
kind of threw
you
me
have
off.
to get power. You get your power pellets, and then you get to level 1 attacks, level 2, level 3 attacks, and I love that game. Like I
have it all wrong. I gotta try it.
I'm one trophy away from a platinum on that for the Vita.
Wow.
So I'm just wondering what you guys think about the Xbox Phil Spencer saying that Sony is having some really nice collection of games, and they're kind of, he's kind of just, saying good job, look what you guys are doing, it's
Didn't
awesome.
He say he owns a PlayStation 4? Like, isn't that
right?
Kind of a problem?
So I mean, that's the thing. Like he's kind of being the nice guy on the block. He's kind of be like, yeah, I love PlayStation, even though I'm an Xbox man, and this is what I do. So what do you guys think about Phil Spencer? Is he kind of putting a cherry on top? Or?
I think it's all for the image of Xbox altogether.
Yeah.
Like, because last year at E3 when they were unveiling the console and everybody got pissed off at them, they threw like a full 180 and completely switched on like a whole new plan. And they're still recovering from that. And now they got this guy coming in here and trying to, sit down with us and just kind of be like the father and be like, yeah, no, I get it. You all like this stuff, and we got some good stuff too. We hope you come and play our things, It's just, I think that's all he's trying to do is help the image of Microsoft over this thing.
Kind of just show that, hey, we're kind of taking your exclusives, but we're going to be a nice guy still. We're going to
there
be
ain't no
friends.
hostility in this war, Like we're going to have our own ceasefire that lasts.
Nah.
Anyway.
For me, I'll throw in a different thing. I'm a big fan of wrestling, so let me put it in this type of thing. That's almost like having the president of the dying company, TNA Impact Wrestling, saying the WWE is a great product. I watch that. But you'll never hear the owner and the CEO of the WWE saying, Vince McMahon saying, I watch TNA, and they put out a good product. You'll never have that because the dying company is always trying to get those leaflets out to people, right? The major companies is not doing a thing. The biggest one is saying Nintendo. They're not doing a thing.
Yeah.
I would
Nintendo's
say
kind of just... Go ahead.
The biggest problem is the fact that he just said that. Like, if he didn't say anything, it wouldn't have mattered. I would still assume that he has a PlayStation 4 because, he's a human being, and this is a form of entertainment, and people love playing games. I mean, I can just assume. Most people by now, well, a fair amount of us, not everyone out there, but usually have one or two consoles in their living room. So I don't see it as much of a big deal, but it's the fact that he said it, I think, is what causes some outrage.
As we're talking about Gamescom, there was a big, huge upset coming out from everyone, hoping that they'd see a Half-Life 3 trailer or something to do with Half-Life 3. Now, are you guys Half-Life fans?
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys played it?
Oh.
Would you guys like to see a 3? Me, myself, yes, I would. I mean, we've all been waiting a very long time, but it kind of just, it's kind of like Tomb Raider. It keeps lingering. The thought of it keeps lingering. It's like the old grandpa. And everyone wants to see it so bad, but they just keep... It's like everyone gets so hyped up about it, and then they're like, oh, my heart's broken because it never came out. And it's almost 10 years since Half-Life 2 came out, so I think it's almost time for them to come out with another one, right?
Well, you can put that in the same shoes as, here's when the original Half-Life came out, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Episode 2. You put that in the same shoes as Duke Nukem.
Yeah, Duke Nukem. But didn't Duke Nukem, when it came out, didn't it just flop? It totally flopped, that new game.
It took forever for it to come out. Forever.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem forever. And
by that time, all the buzz was gone. Like, the hype was wasted, and it just took too long to get to shelves, and that's ultimately the problem.
Is Half-Life 3 going to follow in that same boat, though?
No. Valve fans are very committed. The PC... fan base, or market, I should say, is a very vocal group. And, I mean, this is usually teased on sites like Reddit and 4chan before any of these big events to start, building up some hype for it. So it's constantly, the fire's being fueled there. People want it. And I'm sure it's there. Something is in planning. It has to be. There's no way that they can ignore it. Maybe they got to be holding back. I think, and this would be nice, because the Steam box is still something that's coming out. Is Valve still making their own hardware, or did they say that they weren't intending on doing that?
Yeah,
because if they're doing their own hardware and they're releasing their own consoles, I want them, and this is just a fantasy, hypothetically, but let's put Half-Life 3 bundled in the console. Wouldn't that just make them win?
Yeah, that would be one badass system, and not only that, but I think it would give Xbox and PlayStation a good run for their money.
Certainly make
even
a big
though they're big. Yes, it will. You got to remember the PC. I still think the PC crowd and everyone in the PC, they still enjoy the PCs, and the reason being is because it's such a huge market for not only all the parts and everything like that, but it also shows what the consoles now cannot do, right? Because consoles compared to PC is always going to be better overall for graphics, for pretty much everything. And as more consoles come out, they're going to get closer and closer to the PC kind of feel. But I think Steam, if they're to release it, I think their console is going to be the very first computer, the most. I'm not very first computer. That just sounded ridiculous.
Yeah, no worries.
But it's going to be the very first, almost the same as computer console that you're going to get. It's going to be the closest thing to a computer you're going to get on a console, I think, personally. Yeah. And the reason being is because they're so PC driven, Valve is, right? So, and Steam box is $1,500 retail. It is, but $1,500 retail is still not a lot of money to hardcore fans. People will go out and spend that money if they want to get the system.
But there's going to be a range of consoles for various pricing, right? They're still doing that with the multiple units, like the small ones to the big ones, and it'll range from 5 to as much as 3,000 or something like that. Like, that was when they unveiled it. I don't know if that news has changed. It's actually been some time since I've looked in that Steambox news. But, I mean, yeah, I think Valve knows what they're doing. Like, they seem to be making all the right moves. Right now, Evolve is the only thing they have going on to really, like, generate some buzz. Like, these are the same people who did Left 4 Dead, right? So, it's a pretty big deal. Well, they just
released the Left 4 Dead arcade game in Japan.
Which failed.
That was really friggin'
miserably.
But it's a really good game. If you had a chance to play it, it's a really good game.
You did?
Yeah.
You played it?
Played it.
I heard a lot of complaints about the mouse, because you can't really change much of the sensitivity and the keyboards, because everybody's got a preference of gear and what they have to use, right? So in an arcade perspective, maybe keyboard and mouse wasn't the right choice.
Agreed. It's almost like if you ever played Typing of the Dead, and then when they zoom the camera down and the guys have the keyboards in front of them.
But at least House of the Dead had guns that you could fire at it. Like, it's like if they took that arcade machine and decided to just give it a keyboard, and now it's just type. Like, why couldn't they have just given it guns and had it like an on-rails sort of deal? I don't see why that couldn't have mixed. That's the complete impression I had, because there was no, like, footage or anything that we saw. We just saw cabinets and logos and stuff. It's like, it's happening. We have details, but no gameplay.
Yeah.
What's it like? And then, yeah, it just didn't work. Yeah. I don't know.
So
I don't want to see them go to arcades.
Here's my question for Elliot. You have computers galore and everything. Would you spend $1,500 on a console computer, or $300 to $500 on a console, or $1,500 on a console / computer, or $1,500 on a new PC?
Well, it's basically like let's say Xbox, right? It has the same kind of things in the PC, but it's only dedicated to play games. So if somehow, like, if it had higher, like, processing power and, like, computing power, I would definitely go for the Steam. I wouldn't go for the new computer, because I think you could do a lot more on the Steam than you could do on the computer if it comes out good as what it is.
Yeah. And, me, myself, I'm a huge computer gamer. I build them from home. This is why computer is my main system. This is what I do. I play World of Warcraft, all those games. Me, myself, I still think getting a $1,500 computer would be better than getting the Steam box, though. I really think so.
Well, you
It's
understand
just-
the benefit from
yeah,
it,
it's
though.
just-
Like, if you
Yeah.
buy it
Yeah.
just, like, piece by piece, you're obviously going to get more power of that. But to a common consumer, Valve is trying
just
to
kind of
now
like off the
reach.
shelf?
Yeah, they're trying to
Okay.
reach out
Yeah.
to that market, right? So,
But
I mean, they already have
I would
us.
definitely
Like, we're there.
buy
That's
the
established.
Steam box if you could upgrade it.
Well, it
Yeah.
is. There has always been talk
Yeah.
about it being interchangeable and not limited or restricted to anything. You can customize the shit out of it if you want.
Go in there.
No strings attached. That's how Valve has kind of laid it out for us.
Yeah. So, with speaking of Valve and, even Steam, let's talk about Steam there. The fact that you can share your games now on your Steam library with your friends.
Yeah.
PlayStation has a similar thing coming up with their 2.0 update where you can share play your games on the PS4 with other people who may not have that game who can play it. So I mean that's some great things that the PlayStation's coming out with. Also the fact that the new Far Cry 4 has the keys to Carta?
Something like that. Yeah.
The 10 keys
Yeah.
that you can give to your friends on the PS4 who don't have Far Cry 4. So say Brian doesn't have Far Cry 4, I can give him a key. He can now play for 2 hours.
No, it's 1 hour.
It's 2.
Oh, is it 2? I'm sorry.
It's 2
Share
hours.
plays 1 hour. Share play gives
Share
you 1
plays
hour.
1 hour, and
Yeah.
then the keys to Carta is 2 hours.
Is
So-
that
That's cool.
is that key a one-time use though?
Yes.
That's
Well,
it?
yeah.
I believe
Once
so,
you're done
yeah.
your 2
but
hours,
it's 10
you're-
keys. Like, how many people are you going to hand that to? Come on. Well, I don't know about you guys. I don't have a lot of people I can hand it out to.
Me
You can always
myself,
hand me a key, and then
Yeah.
Brian can hand me a key, and Elliot can hand me a key. So does that mean do I get 6 hours?
yeah. See, that's my question. Is it?
No,
if
I
you
think
get
it's
handed-
just continued access, but 2-hour sessions.
Oh, okay. So you can do it, but you only can play 2 hours, and then let's say it just turns off, kind of deal. Like
Something
it just
like that, yeah.
kind of pops up with, "Hey, your 2 hours is up. If you want to play more, get the game. If you not, get your next 2 hours tomorrow," or something like that.
I'm sure something like that will be put in. Absolutely.
The game better be long, because if you can give the 10 keys to one person, they'll beat the game.
That's true. That's true. But see, now that you put it that way, I can't see them allowing someone to use it more than once. I can't see that because then, if it is a short game, they get 10 keys. Oh, that's 20 hours of gameplay.
I know.
They'll be able to beat the game, not even purchase it, and they're going to be like, well, what the hell? Why was this guy beating the game if he never even purchased it?
Did
No.
they say?
They maybe have a limit.
Did they say if it was like access to cooperative campaign, or was it like online multiplayer?
I don't know. All I heard was just the key. They just announced the keys to Carta thing. They didn't really go into too much detail. I think that's something they're going to have to do at the next convention, which would be the Tokyo Game Show.
Well, I mean, this is a first move for anybody, really, so people are curious. It'll definitely get brought
There's a
up,
lot
that's
of
for sure.
like statistics going on. May have not been sorted out. It could have not.
All the loopholes that gamers find.
Yeah.
They find a way to
find
exploit the system.
So let me ask you guys this. What was your guys' favorite Gamescom, release? What was your favorite thing that you've seen at Gamescom so far?
Have you guys seen the trailer for this game, Rhyme?
No, but it sounds cool.
I'm going to pull up the trailer so you guys can watch it here.
Is it like Parappa the Rapper, but for the PS4?
No.
Yeah!
That'd be cool.
Awesome.
I don't know what it is about cel-shaded graphics, but they're just gorgeous in high
Kick, chop,
definition, and I love them. They give me a boner every time, so it's just killer. This game looks like a Legend of Zelda sort of title. Let's just watch.
Yes, I'm excited. Oh, it kind of looks like Windwalker.
It almost looks like Ico, this little kid.
Yeah, no, they talked about this game, which to me the game looks very well done. The music's really good. It's not done by Team Ico, no, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It's the same people who did, wasn't it? No, I don't. Tequila Works.
Okay.
They did work on Fuck, now I can't think of the title. I'm
Yo,
sorry.
he's climbing a wall. Yo,
Oh my god.
I'm excited for this
This is
now. This
pretty.
looks awesome.
Yeah,
Like, it just seems like he's climbing to that tower that he saw. That just seems to be this whole trailer that we're watching.
What if
And
they
but there's
change? What if
series
they're
of
to change the
puzzles
name
and
of this
what have you to traverse and go on?
to the Legend of Guardians or whatever, the game from Team Ico that's supposed to come out,
The Last Guardian?
What is
The Last Guardian?
The Last
is this on
Guardian?
PlayStation?
This is PS4, dude.
I will buy this. I will buy
Yeah.
PlayStation just to play this game. Like, you don't understand how excited I am. I don't even care if it's dumb looking with a circle walking. I will seriously buy this because this looks like the coolest thing this is the most excited I've been for a PlayStation title right now. This is awesome. It brings back all that, you know, all the memories
Childlike wonder.
of like Wind
It's almost
Waker.
like a
Like,
Wind Waker, yeah.
oh my goodness. That's going on my Facebook. I'm sharing that, being like, yo, check this out. This is sweet. Thank you for showing me that. I didn't even hear
No
about
worries,
that.
dude. It's super.
Wow.
It's killer. Like,
No,
I would say
that
that's
is
best
good.
in show as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
The odor. Okay, that was my contribution. Next.
Yeah, Elliot, what about you, bud?
Kind of tough, but not really a game that's been released, but like that DayZ. I'm really interested in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's-
Daisy.
The most thing I've been.
I would say
Yeah.
the biggest thing I'm excited for it coming to consoles will finally get to use a game controller. I'm hoping that gamepad integration happens on the PC version. I got more friends playing that, and
Yeah.
like I said before, keyboard and mouse doesn't sit well with me. I mean, I can be crippled when I play. Anyways, a gamepad would be so much better because if you can make it accessible through a PlayStation controller, then let's adapt it for all PC controllers, and I can start playing with my friends. Like,
or better yet, let's
They're
make
gonna do it.
DayZ with the PlayStation camera controls.
oh dear.
No.
I think we're a little too early to be doing that. We should just put the camera to rest. Like, just
I
kind
guess
of
if
let
it's
it
coming
die
out for
out.
the Xbox,
Connect with
Connect
them.
exclusive.
They've never
I
really
think my-
talked about it. It's kind of just been there. Now Morpheus is like somehow coming through the woodwork, so like it could just drift away. You know, like they could just stop making it. I don't think anybody would notice.
I think
yeah.
my favorite thing right now coming out of Gamescom would either, now that you show me Rhyme, I'm on top of that. That is awesome. But definitely another good contender for me is Dragon Age Inquisition. You know, I'm a huge Dragon Age fan. Huge. I used to play with my buddies. I used to, you know, I'm not saying this, if there's kids listening, don't skip school. But I used to skip school just to play Dragon Age with my buddies. So seeing this game, and you know, I seen some trailers for it earlier before when it came out at I think it was at E3 when it first came out. I seen a bunch of trailers. I was like, I'm very, very excited for this. You know, it kind of gives me that Skyrim feel, but also it's more badass. I feel like it's a more badass version of Skyrim, so I'm very excited for that. And if we have a trailer, can you put that the new trailer up for it if you have it there? I'm not sure if you do.
No, I don't have that at the ready. I got something else.
Yeah, we don't have the trailer, but we'll play it here.
Yeah.
But for my Gamescom, my biggest one, there's actually two of them, but lower end would be Dead Island 2. I'm a big fan of the Dead Island series, but my biggest one that I'm actually kind of excited for, Until Dawn.
Okay, that name rings a bell. Let me look at
It
this.
does.
It's the game where you have your
That's
8
scary,
teenagers
isn't it?
going into a log cabin in the middle of winter, and a killer kills you off one by one.
And everyone
you-
could die.
Everyone could die, or
Yeah.
everyone could survive, and it's one or the other. It was supposed to be like this 80s like slasher genre game. Then they really disappeared. Like nobody's heard of anything or heard of it for a while. Came back at Gamescom, and the trailer just looks amazing.
Yeah,
So it's going to, it's basically Cabin in the Woods movie, but game. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like there's a killer throughout, and you have to get through it. Like Hayden Penn, I forget her name.
Penantier.
Hayden Panettiere or what?
she's the lead actress in this. So
Hayden Pentine.
Penitine.
Hayden Hot.
No, it's
I just call her Hayden because she's.
Oh, there she is. They like actually insert her in the game.
Yeah. But I mean, the graphics are good, and you know, if they're able to make the story anywhat the same as like The Last of Us, or just the feel of the game looks amazing. Just looking with it, you know, looking at the trailer and what they've talked about it, and the fact that how the game has come up from what it was.
You know, I'd like to see a multiplayer component where someone can play the killer. That's like my new favorite multiplayer.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That if it was multiplayer and you could play the killer, and then the rest have to run away, that would be huge. My question is, though, for this, for this game,
This is very interesting.
does it go by choices? Is it kind of like the same thing as Walking Dead? You choose, or is it kind of more like a venture around, and if you find him, he's going to kill you, kind of deal?
Don't know. This is the second announcement that they've made of this game. This is it. Like I'm hoping it's not like a Telltale game where it's, you know, the point and click type adventure, or like The Walking Dead. I'm hoping it's like, you know, you can go this way on the story and go do this, and then if you do something wrong, someone else over here dies, or you die and then you switch to a different character type thing. Like that's what I think would be really cool if it is. Again, don't know, won't really know until they announce more of it. But I mean, the game itself is just, you know, to me, it got me hyped. Like, I mean, that looks like a sweet game. It's a cool concept. And then speaking of being a killer in a game, they kind of did that with the Halloween and the Call of Duty thing, where you could be Michael Myers. But if they were to like reskin and redo Naughty Bear, in where you could be like Jason Voorhees and killing other people,
That could be interesting.
That would be a nice mix to throw into Naughty Bear. Give them costumes, dress them up, have them play some roles. Like they did like some DLC where you could be like superhero-y and stuff like that, or you had to go kill superheroes. I don't quite recall. But like that's a very forgetful game because it was so repetitive, you know?
Yeah.
Everything got all tedious and just kind of just like, oh, now we're going to give you more bears to screw with. And it's like, that's cool. But you could only make so many different moves, and then you figure out a way to break it and get the big points, and boom, it's done. But keep it coming.
If I had a hockey mask or the Freddy Krueger glove or something like that, you can add that aspect in there.
Almost like sorry to interrupt. Almost like a Broforce sort of idea where you just kind of have like mock characters that resemble real life or movie characters, comic characters, whatever you want to do. Have the bears look like that, not just dress them up in the same costume, because they all look the same anyways. Same round, same stuffy. Like at least the Care Bears were different, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of Care Bears, check out our video on the 10 laziest Care Bear names here at the Console Explosion. How you like that, Pop?
Yo, that was a good plug. That was a good
plug.
Know that was like Billy Mays right there. That was awesome. Now, let's go from talking about something so great to something so sad. Robin Williams.
Can I just stop you for a second? I wanted to play one more video before we stop this, if that's cool.
Let's do it.
Of course.
Let's do it.
Okay. You guys haven't seen Bloodborne yet, have you?
I've heard of it. I've seen.
Okay. Is that the one with the dragon? No,
is it a dragon? I don't know if it's a dragon, but this is the From Software game I was telling you about.
It's a snake with wings.
it's a snake with wings. So what would that be called?
A serpent
snake.
Snagan. I love the
High Dragon?
Japan studio. They make some really cool games.
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually interesting.
Oh, there's your dragon.
Oh, I did see this trailer. It kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah, that's great.
Is this like a sequel or something, or?
I don't think so. I think they're going for like a new IP.
It's a new
IP,
but
it handles the same as the company's been known for, right? It's
what else have these guys made, if you mind me asking?
Dark Souls.
Okay, yeah.
Dark Souls 2. Yeah. Demon Souls.
I played Dark Souls and I hated it.
Yeah, I hated it too. I absolutely, like, it's the bane of my existence. It's the worst thing. To a point where it's not fun.
See, you know what? This looks exactly like Dark Souls, except just the same concept, and I don't know if I'm a fan of it right now.
Well, like the visual look of it is what appeals to me. Like, it's enough for me to at least try and play it, because you see him fighting this beast here, and you could pull off some pretty cool fucking moves. You get picked up, and
but you can do that in Dark Souls.
Okay, well, maybe I just
good.
didn't get to the right guys. Yeah, I don't know. I kept getting killed by NPC because I just wanted to swing a sword at him.
Yeah,
and then we would respawn, and he would just keep coming after me, and it just sucked. I was like, God damn it.
I think Dark Souls is a very
cool
game that I threw my controller.
I mean, Dark Souls isn't... yes, it's hard, but I mean, when you think about like games that I used to play, Battletoads, like Nintendo games, there's games like Nintendo Tough. I mean, I think gamers nowadays are so accustomed to being led down a path. Here's you go, XYZ, get upgrades on the way to make sure you can beat the boss if you just use a little extra tapping of the button. For me, everything was Nintendo Tough. You had nothing. There was no internet for, guides or anything. It was, this game, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game is going to kick your ass. Pretty much.
Funny thing, talking about the internet, people just now troll each other in Dark Souls or anything like that. It's like, don't expect anybody to help you, because they hop in and it's just like, run the other way. You die. Fuck you. Like,
I'd be doing all kinds of swears. I'd be swearing at all kinds of things if someone came in and trolled me on Dark Souls. Like, that game is the one game you don't want to get trolled in, because you lose and you just feel all this anger. You feel like you're the devil because you're so hot. You're just so pissed off. Like, this was my feeling. I was trying to kill this thing. I couldn't kill it. I got so mad that I literally felt the blood pumping in my fingers. I was like, I'm about to flip out. I threw my controller, and ever since then, I knew I can't even step into that whole game experience again, because I
Hulk out.
I will anger. That Rooster Teeth, the one that yells at the games, that dude that yells at the games, that's me.
Michael?
That would be me. Michael is me. I'd be flipping. So Dark Souls is never going to happen for me again, and I'll play this Bloodborne game, don't get me wrong, but if it gives me the same struggles, expect a brother to flip. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you, man. Okay.
Well, Brian,
I guess now on to the next.
Bring us to the next thing. Yep.
Sad news. Everybody knows. Everyone heard. Robin Williams committed suicide, passed away, and it's honestly, it struck me really hard. Growing up, Aladdin, Jumanji, Flubber. All those movies were childhood movies for me. Watching them, I loved them. And Robin Williams is one of, but he's probably one of the top contenders for my stand-up role models. He's a very, very good and fast, stand-up comedian. He was thinking before he spoke. His mind would think 10 times faster than he did actions. So he could go and do something that's very, very funny, and then he could have it all planned out in his head, and he wouldn't even have to write it out. This is how funny this guy was. This guy was naturally funny, and he was fast, and he was good at it, and it's very, very sad that we lost him. And, I mean, that just shows also, like, celebrities, they're just like one of us. They definitely, they have their problems, they have their struggles. And actually today I heard that he was in his early stages of Parkinson's disease as well.
Yeah,
so
I was just reading that.
He was definitely going through some struggles, and unfortunately, he decided to end his life. And hearing people on Facebook and telling him that he's selfish kind of just makes me very upset. In my opinion, suicide is nothing to ever joke about, especially when it's somebody that definitely had public troubles, and as a celebrity, you're put on the spotlight all the time. So that's why, he was put on the spotlight all the time. He didn't really have his privacy when he had problems, everyone knew. And it would just make it harder. It would just make it way harder. And, I hope he rests in peace. And, I definitely am shocked by this. And, I definitely, when I heard, I went through his movies. I watched Aladdin, I watched Flubber, and then I watched even Hook. Hook was one of my favorite movies. I even watched that the other day. So, I don't know what your guys' opinions on it, but I was definitely very upset.
Well, Robin Williams was definitely a huge part of all of our childhoods, really. Like, he was basically active from the start of the 80s up to this point. I mean, he hasn't been in too much recently, but, like, we all have something to cherish about him, whether he be the Genie or Mrs. Doubtfire or, you know, Peter Pan. Like, there was something to love about him. And it was great, like, how quick he was on his feet. Like you said, he goes a mile a minute, and he almost never stumbled on his words. Like, even if he kind of rambled, because, you know, he'd get into
his
a bit or something, and he would it doesn't matter. Like, he hit the punchline, and it was great every time. There's a video I want to pull up here where Jimmy Fallon pays tribute to Robin, and he pulls out the first ever appearance on The Tonight Show.
Oh, with Jimmy Carson. I watched that.
Jimmy Carson, yeah. That was back in 81 or something.
Yeah, I watched that, and that was hilarious.
Like, that made me laugh. And I don't think there's been a single role he's been in that I've hated this guy. Like, he's just that lovable, and there's so genuine in his humor and how he approaches things. Like, he could say almost anything and not be offensive. Like, he just had that gift. But he would still have a wit about him, you know, just a way to spin it that I just love. Did you ever watch his stand-up show, Weapons of Mass Destruction?
Yes.
Like, that is probably one of my favorite stand-up shows ever. Like, that is genius. I loved him in that. That was brilliant.
And I think, you know, the saddest thing about that is, you know, he was in such a good place in his life, but it looked like he was such in a good place. I mean, he just had his own show with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Not Sarah Michelle.
Crazy Ones, I think so. Right?
You know, Crazy Ones. He just had his own show, and there was interviews of him before, and he was doing fine, you know, and he was doing great. But it just shows you how fast life can turn around, you know, how fast it can give you trouble. And I seen a video today. I was reading earlier yesterday that he had a scene in a movie where he was an alcoholic and he sobered up. And I've seen today that in a video he's like, my tombstone will read 1951 to 2014, and then he passed away, which is kind of spooky, right?
That's pretty spooky. I got one more for you. I could one up you on that. Did you know that the recent Family Guy episode that aired the day he died, literally hours after, featured an entire episode where Peter Griffin made some kind of a wish, and he was able to turn every single person he touched into Robin Williams. And there was an actual failed suicide attempt scene in that episode.
Wow. That is...
Wow.
I've seen that episode, yeah. I know, I've seen that one.
I have this link here somewhere. I can give you the page, but there's nothing awesome. Like a video I can share or anything with you guys.
Yeah, no, it's you know, Robin Williams was great comedian, you know, great physical comedy actor up there, you know, with like Martin Short, Steve Martin, you know, the great type of comedy. I mean, he was in a good spot. I mean, yeah, he was in that TV show, The Crazy Ones, but unfortunately it was canceled. But he did have some new stuff coming out. He just had the movie The Angriest Man in Brooklyn just came out. Also,
he's going to be in Night at the Museum.
He's
he's gonna be.
And then he has the new role in Absolutely Anything and the Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. So, you know, when it comes to, you know, being out there, he's got a lot of work. It's not like he's one of these actors who, you know, didn't have work, right? He had stuff. He had projects, and yeah, you know, it's hard to believe that, you know, depression or something like that could affect someone, but that's another thing where people need to really open their eyes and understand, you know, depression and understand, you know, these type of illnesses, because they're everywhere, right? From the top to the bottom, right? But, you know, Robin Williams will be missed. I mean, I liked all his roles. You know, Jumanji, one of my favorite movies. Yeah, you know, he'll be missed. Elliot, what about you, bud?
Pretty much the same as you have been saying. Like, such an inspiration to everybody, like especially to me. But it's a real shame that he's now gone. But he will have all those movies with him. Like, we can watch them and he'll still be there, but not, you know.
He's put a mark on. He definitely put a mark on everybody, you know, and that's, you know how they say. A lot of people say, "Hey, let's celebrate the life and not celebrate the death." I definitely think they're going to be celebrating his life for a very long time.
Well, I love what people are doing. Did you? I'm sure you've heard of the memorial that's going up in the Brooklyn Park. Is it Brooklyn?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Boston.
Where the house is.
Boston Park, where the movie was filmed on the
Good Will
bench,
Hunting
by the bench.
was filmed.
Good
It
Will
was
Hunting.
a very memorable scene, and they actually have a chalk outline of where his footprints would have been, where he sat, and they want to erect a bronze statue of him to sit there.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, they have like a petition or something that needs to be signed. I don't know where the link is for it, if it's online or what, but they got a lot of signatures, and it sounds like it's going to happen. So I really hope it does. But then we also have
petitions. What about the petition they get Robin Williams as an NPC in World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I was just going to
The
comment.
World of
on
Warcraft, that would be really cool. You know, as a World of Warcraft player, I've been playing that game since basically vanilla, and a lot of people's favorite things about this is they have a lot of little Easter eggs in their game, and you know, it's funny and it's memorable. You know, like it's a good time for not only the players but for everyone that has dealt with, you know, depression, everything like that. If they put it in, it will show like, hey, you know, this guy's here. It's kind of like a little memory for him. And I think it's going to be a very good idea if they do it. And if they choose to do it, it would be very smart on their part. Not only that, you know, because he was such a big part of pretty much everything. You know, he's made everybody laugh whenever, you know, you're feeling down. You watch one of his stand-ups, you watch one of the movies, you laugh. So him being put in WoW, if he said something as well, if it was like a talking NPC, I think that would be great. You know, if you go up to him and you chat with him, that would be awesome.
Well, like it is going to happen. Blizzard has responded, and they're definitely making this work. And I'm sure it'll go with like voice clips from like his many roles in movies and whatnot. Like there's a huge collection of Robin Williams to dig from. So, I mean, I'm sure Blizzard's going to, you know, put all their passion and love into this sort of thing. Had more to say with that. I'm really bad for this. I'm going to go on to this thing. There's another game, Depression Quest. I don't know if you guys heard about this. It's a text-based game. It's to help you understand depression.
No, I've never heard of it.
This developer has decided to make it free. You can get it on Steam.
Okay.
And it was released right around this time when Robin Williams took his life. And she would like to emphasize, because I read the article, emphasize that it's not to capitalize on anything. She's not trying to take advantage of anything. She's like, this is just a good way to help you understand. So, I mean, if you guys have time, give Depression Quest a try.
I'm on the website right now. And, you know, he just gave it to me. I'm looking it up here. And basically, it's an interactive fiction about living with depression by Zoe Quinn, Patrick Lindsay, and Isaac Skankler. And basically, what you do, you click it right away. It's a very, very dull, kind of sad-looking website itself.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be depressing.
Yeah, when you click on it, it basically gives you choices. And from those choices, you'll keep going. And I think definitely if no one understands depression or has ever gone through it, no one's gone through it before, definitely this is something to check out. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, have never dealt with it, don't understand it. And this will help you understand, but not only that, but it will give you sympathy for others that have it, you know? So I think it's
totally agreed. Like, you know, my next comment, don't take any part, but when he said that the website looks kind of dull, would you say it looks depressing?
Yes. Yeah.
Again, it's a joke. Hey, whatever. But nonetheless, you know, depression isn't, again, it's something that isn't a laughing matter. Yeah. You know, if you know someone with depression, help them out, you know, give them the phone number, and that's really all we can say, right?
Now to pick up on the Warcraft thing again, because I remember what I was going to say now. Robin Williams has been very vocal. He's been a very vocal supporter of World of Warcraft. He's been known to play it and actually go in and troll people and do stuff like that. He's talked about it before, and he has been very open about his depression. Like, it's something he's been struggling with. He was talking about actually going back into a 12-step program because he dealt with drug addiction and stuff in his early years. So a lot of that kind of stuff also, you know, probably factored into what ultimately happened. But it's very unfortunate. And it had to take Robin Williams to like drive this impact to finally get depression out in the light, to have people open their eyes and be like, holy shit, like not even Robin Williams can escape depression. Like he was the one person that I saw that wouldn't, like, I didn't think anything was wrong with him. He just did such a good job of concealing that and hiding it, but he was very open about like his issues. But it's like, okay, he's got his head on his shoulder, he's got everything straight. And well, obviously something was amiss, which is really unfortunate because it looked like he was getting, back into movies. Like he was going to make a huge comeback. Miss Doubtfire 2 is now in turmoil because they don't think they can recast him. At least the main creators, because they were working very close with Robin Williams on the project, don't want to. But I mean,
how could you?
Well, that's true, right? But if Fox wants to have their way and they want to capitalize on just a brand, they're going to fucking rebrand it, or not rebrand it, but they're going to recast it anyways and find somebody who will do it. But it would just be that would be so insensitive. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't want it to happen, but like, I have that fear. I don't want him to do this.
To me, that would be like if they decided like when John Candy died and then they redo Uncle Buck.
Yeah. Or when Heath Ledger died. Did you guys ever watch the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus?
Yes.
How did you feel about what they did with the different actors? Johnny Depp, Colin Farrell, and I can't remember the third guy. But they just had them change his identity when he went into that Imaginarium. Heath Ledger already did the life parts, and they probably had to retailor a bit of the ending, but for the most part, it was fully intact, and I thought they did a great spin on it. I thought it was an excellent way to like help those actors, have their share of cameo in this movie.
Johnny Depp needs more cameos.
Oh, I love Johnny Depp. In 21st Jump Street, when he popped out, oh my god, fuck yeah.
No, that was a great cameo, but...
It was excellent.
Tourists?
I mean, Johnny...
Now, is anyone a big Razer fan here? Is anyone a big Razer guy?
Razer, like the brand?
Yes.
Like the
I
scooter,
can't say I have any gear.
The
scooter?
I think they still make those, actually.
Yeah, they still make them. Well, I'm just saying that because if anyone is a big Razer fan that is listening, they actually released something. It's basically a headphone stand, and I'm telling you, I never wanted a headphone stand so much in my life. This headphone stand looks like it was put together by a blacksmith's hammer and sword, and it looks like God came down and said, here, headphone users, have this. This thing is beautiful. It is beautiful, and if you guys haven't seen it, I would definitely tell you guys to look it up because this thing is something else. And I'm also saying I'm accepting donations, so I'm just. But
get a Kickstarter started for you.
Yeah,
it's definitely something that I would like to see more and more gaming brands do release stuff like this, stuff that is not kind of outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my pick, just to put everything up and happy again.
I want to see this. Oh, okay. Images.
All right.
It's got a nice little
that's pretty
design.
Cool. Yeah. You know what? It's rounding the end of our time limit here, boys.
Yeah, what are we clocked in at? We've got to be over that hour.
We're about an hour and 13 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Everyone who stuck around with us, awesome possum.
Yeah.
Awesome possum.
Yeah. Probably the last thing that I'd really want to talk about here, and then probably close us out, would actually be two of the things. The fact that, again, like I said, I'm a big wrestling fan. I like wrestling. We have SummerSlam coming up around this Sunday, but we also have Rogers with the WWE Network and the WWE Network going across worldwide. But speaking in the video game form, Halo, the Halo channel.
The Halo channel. The video.
Yeah.
What is this? I've never even heard of this. Halo.
The Halo channel, which gives you, like from your Xbox, access to all your games. So like the new Halo games coming out, Guardians, or Halo 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you can seamlessly change within the games, to the movies, to the TV show, and it's just like one channel that's meant to streamline all your Halo stuff. And I mean,
Wow.
it looks really good, like really sophisticated, you know, work that they did. Like it's amazing. Like just watching what they're able to do with it. It's good, and I honestly think that this is the future of when it comes to gaming franchises. You know, when it comes to these type of things like these networks, or again these you know, the Halo channel. So what do you guys think of it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Did you?
I'm looking at it right now. I'm watching it. Sorry, we both fired at the same time.
Me and Matt are both watching it at the same time.
Well, tell me your thoughts as you're watching it. Like, what are you seeing? You know, thoughts.
Right now,
unless it's someone talking, then it probably doesn't matter.
I see a lot of stats, which is nice.
I'm kind of just hearing about this. I'm kind of 50-50. I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of risky in my opinion. Like, I understand there's a Halo channel for everything, but like, is it really needed? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
this
why?
Is like Halo Waypoint 2.0. Like, this is essentially what they've been working for, and they're taking full advantage of Xbox Live. Definitely. Yeah. Like, you can spectate people's games doing this. That's what I just saw. I'm sure they'll hold.
You can watch everything.
Like, it's definitely going to be a nice social hub. Like, it's integrated with Twitter, and you can look up game stats while you're playing. And
I guess my question is, Matt,
do you
think will be successful?
Well, I think it's just going to be there. If they start charging us like a fee for it, I don't think it has a chance of surviving.
Receipt.
Say what?
Receipt. Return. I want to return this. It's useless.
There's no returns on digital purchases. You know that.
I honestly, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan.
Well, I like, just talking about Waypoint, I don't even use that today. Like, I just don't. I'm sure some people out there do. There's got to be some reason they feel this is all necessary, but like, I don't know, everybody's getting their own like exclusive social hub. Like, doesn't NHL already have this sort of thing?
Yeah, it's called
all
being
those
on
sports
Rogers.
Being on Rogers.
Yeah. And now EA's coming out with their exclusive access, whatever. Like, that
Origin?
could be similar. No, not Origin. They have like their own exclusive, almost like a Netflix for EA, where you just pay a fee, like $18, and you get full access to their entire library of games. Yeah, this is Xbox only.
Yeah, because
Halo
PlayStation said no dice on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have their own coming out, which is the same thing, right? The PlayStation Now.
But like, I just see this happening for more and more games now. Like, it's just going to be like a big network of everything: news, coverage, big time events. All the breaking news is going to be managed on one central hub. That's just going to.
So would it eliminate the internet?
Well, the internet's always going to be there. We need the internet.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, when they post all the stuff, like, everything is being posted within this thing, within this channel, right? So everyone will be, who's on the channel, have the game, will have this channel. Will that be able to be viewed online?
Probably not. If that, it'll be exclusive for some time. Like, they have that Halo, is the TV show that's still happening? I guess both Halo projects are going on. Like, they got Nightfall coming out, and then they have the one that Ridley Scott is doing, a digital short movie or something like that. They got Spielberg on the TV show and Ridley Scott on the movie. Or that could be backwards. But they would have exclusives for that. At least it would go to that channel, and then probably out later, or somebody will put it out on YouTube, and then it'll be pirated and it'll put out everywhere. You know, people will find their way around it. But this is probably what they're going to do to manage everything now. From here on out, it's just going to be everything you need Halo. But you can get it off their website and stuff still. Like, I don't know. There's other ways to access this information. It's just another place that conveniently, like, archives all the content that matters to you, which is Halo, obviously.
Yeah.
And you get some behind the scenes, like there's tabs and stuff you can go through and I guess get a deeper look into 343 and how they actually make things tick.
But apparently there's exclusives too. As you go through the tabs and stuff, you get exclusive characters, guns, things.
Looks like
for
they're going with
Halo
challenges,
game.
like daily challenges and rewards would be nice.
Yeah,
they do that with Titanfall already.
Apparently, just by playing screwing around on the channel, you'll unlock new costumes or something like that for Halo 5 or for the Master Chief Edition. So that's kind of.
I would assume that all carries over for sure.
Achievement hunters trying to hunt all those achievements for playing around on a channel.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. What does the world come to, eh?
Yeah.
It's come to Halo. That's what it's come to.
Yeah.
Halo channels.
But speaking of the TV shows, how good is the Halo done? Like, let's think about, because another thing at Gamescom was Quantum Break, which is a Xbox exclusive. Apparently, they're supposed to have a TV show involved with that. But is that just like the Defiance game that came out? That's supposed to be with the showcase show of Defiance, which has not really been that good. I don't know. I haven't really watched it, but I know the game you can pick
Defiance
up
had a
for
TV show?
$4.99. Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, the Defiance, the TV show, goes with the game, and things that happen on the TV show affect in-game, and then vice versa. So
how'd that go?
If a character dies in the TV show, they'll die in the game. And then all this stuff, like that's what their whole pitch was when they brought this game out. But the game came out $59.99, and right now you can buy it pretty much for brand new for $4.
I think what they should do is instead of running with the same characters, they should just go with the concept and build a show. Like the game and the show could just share the same logic in the same universe or whatever. But give me an original story in the TV show so it's not so intertwined.
Like Star Wars?
Yeah, or like, no, I can't think of any other example. What I don't want them to do, and they're doing this, I hear that there's going to be ties with House of Cards and the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I don't want that. I mean, they got to do it, I guess, because Kevin Spacey is there as the president or whatever. I guess there's something that needs to be put in, but it's just weird that I'm getting.
But then would that say that the next Call of Duty is going to have Superman in it? Because Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor.
Well, that would make a pretty good parody flick.
So, I mean, now you're having this big extended universe, like Call of Duty and Superman, and,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess video games is like the next frontier for Hollywood. Like, 2015 is going to be a big year for video game movies. I mean, people are getting excited for the World of Warcraft movie that's coming out. I have yet to see, like, anything of it, but people say it's mind-blowing. It's like an Avatar thing. But I guess naturally TV is going to dip into that too, because this year we're getting all of our comic book stuff. But then what's going to happen when that's wasted out and that's going off in its own thing? Like, they're going to just get video games out into the woodwork now.
Yeah.
I just see it going that direction. I mean, with the success of Halo and its digital series, how it's done, like the quality, production quality, like it's a really cool series. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you should watch it. It's really fun. I just see them doing it more often now. Like Viva Pinata got their own TV show.
Yeah.
And that's been doing pretty good. I mean, it's dead now, but they had their thing. And that generated some good moolah. So I don't see why they can't do this for others.
Yeah.
That's
touché. Wait for the Skype movie to come out. There you go.
Well, we got one on Facebook, so.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get one about Skype. Get one about. I'd pay to watch about AIM, the rise and fall of America Online.
Nah.
So, any closing thoughts?
I would say that I think Rhyme is going to be awesome. I'm excited. I'm going to have to change my shorts after watching that Bloodborne video again. And rest in peace to Robin Williams. Those are my 3 closing, statements.
Okay. I got to get myself a PlayStation 4 and I guess try and accept Dark Souls for what it is and not be such a bitch about it.
So, hey, Matt, I'll hold your hand and we'll play together. How about that? And we'll get angry with each other.
Okay. I'd like that. That'd be fun. Yeah, why not? I don't know. In conclusion, yeah. Robin Williams, rest in peace. Loved you, man. Did you guys ever read about that tweet that was put out? I think the Huffington Post published it. It was probably one of the most tear-jerking tweets, but it was, "Genie, you are free."
Yeah, the Academy did that.
Yeah.
And,
oh, that's so nice. And then Disney put
was-
up a picture of the genie escaping the lamp like days after that happened, which was just perfect, you know.
I guess,
So anyways,
Kaz, when are we expecting the Console Explosion website? You got any news on that?
That should be coming soon. I'm just working with 2 individuals here recently, trying to get our Console Explosion website up and going. For anyone that's not following us, we have our Console Explosion on YouTube, where you get some great videos done by myself as well as Matt. He does our pretty much weekly update.
Yeah.
And we have some other great videos, some top 10s and some convention stuff, as well as if we have our Twitch channel where you can see some of our members play Twitch. Look for the schedule soon. It will be posted on Twitch for which members do shows on our Twitch. Some of the members that are part of our podcasts will be doing Twitch. So if you like them here, you'll see them there. And it's just, some really cool things to just get our community involved. As well as we have our Facebook, where lots of our gaming news is posted. We got trailers, videos. We'll be having some interviews. As well as we can announce today that we'll have the Console Explosion will be invading the Saskatoon Comic and Entertainment Expo this September. We'll be sending some members to that, so if you see them around, we'll be talking about that more later on. But I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have some really good interviews and some really good videos coming out of that. So look forward to that on our YouTube and Facebook, as well as follow us on Twitter at the Console Explosion. But so that's pretty much what it comes to the website. Hopefully that'll be coming up here pretty soon. But yeah, we have lots of other avenues that you folks can follow us on and get all your gaming and geek news. But yeah,
Can we plug our Twitters?
plug your Twitters, boys.
Let's do it. At Gingy Beardy Guy. All one word.
Go ahead and follow me, Brian, at Brian Arcand on Twitter, Instagram, and They Call Me Pooh is my YouTube page. So go ahead and do that as well. And I'm going to be one of the Twitch gamers, so I am excited to do that, and I hope everyone will be able to watch me rage playing Dark Souls. So
I'll definitely be checking that out.
Elliot?
Laugh.
And my Twitter is Elliot Monk. That's basically it.
Elliot Monk, you have
How about
anything
you?
else to plug?
No, not really.
All right.
I don't have that much.
What's your closing thoughts there, Elliot?
I'm definitely gonna buy a PlayStation 4 because I don't have one. Well, I did have one and then it broke. I haven't replaced it.
Broke already? What happened? Red ring?
No, it just fried.
No.
I don't know. It didn't want to start up anymore, so I think I'm gonna replace my unit soon.
Ah, jeez. That wasn't still.
I'm crying.
Yeah, that's devastating.
Should have bought the
Not
extended
even a
warranty.
year into the generation, and it's already breaking down on you. What the hell?
I don't know. I had it in a storage unit, and it was pretty hot in there.
That could do something,
Friday.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, anything else?
Rest in peace, Robbie Williams. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Rock
We
on.
love you, man. Captain,
Yeah.
my captain.
Yep, my captain, my captain. My closing thoughts is again, sad to see Robin Williams go. Good to get our first podcast up and going. Great time in gaming. Do look forward to having this hopefully at a weekly event. So you'll be able to see and hear a contingency of some console explosion people in and out of this group, so that should be fun. And again, like I said, follow us, like our videos, like the stuff, check out the Twitch, check out our store. We have a store where you can pick up digital copies of great games for the PC, like Titanfall, and some new pre-orders, like for the new Sims, so things like that. Yeah, we just have some great stuff, some great things coming down the pipes. I look forward to the future. But yeah, once the website's rocking and rolling, it's gonna be big. So I look forward to that. Again, I thank everybody for following us and for listening to us ramble on.
Some more than others. More. Losing his stupid continuity.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening to Matt talk the whole 2 hours. It's been great. Guys. no, it's been great. This has been awesome. I enjoy this. But yeah, thank you very much. And this is Cazteck saying goodbye from Ottawa.
This is Brian saying goodbye from Regina. No one else?
Who's next?
This is Matt saying goodbye from Edmonton.
And Elliot saying goodbye from Calgary. From Calgary. What the hell is that?
To Calgary?
Goodbye to Calgary. He's coming to Edmonton.
Nonetheless,
Calgary.
Thank you very much, folks. We'll see you next week.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Good talk.